Hey YouTube, how's it going today? In this video, I want to give an update on my Torchlight Energy Resources position, as well as talk about some other stocks we were talking about in the Patreon today. And then after that, I'm going to get into some of your questions. Now, if you're new to my channel, I've been trading and investing for over 20 years, and in every video, I'll show you some of the potential trades and investments that I see setting up. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any future trading or investing ideas. And I also have a Patreon group, so if you would like to be a part of our community and see what we are buying and selling in real time, that link is in the description. Alright guys and gals, let's get into this insanely idiotic, insanely ridiculous looking Torchlight Energy Resources Incorporated daily chart. But before I get started, if you could like the smash button and help me out with the YouTube algorithm before putting all this together, I would really appreciate it. Now, spoiler alert, I did end up selling the rest of my shares today at $9.88, and actually came up to $9.89 and did not execute my order. It pulled back quite a bit, so I was pissed off for a little bit there, but it turned around soon after and ended up blasting through that price on its way to almost $11 a share. So I actually got out a little bit early, but hey, I can't complain. I bought almost all of it right around $2 a share, so you know what they say, bulls make money, bears make money, but pigs get slaughtered. If I get a huge gain like that, I'm going to end up ringing the register, and I'm not going to look back because chances are this thing's going to be coming back down to earth sooner or later. If any of you guys are in this stock, let me know if you sold today, you sold too soon, or if you're still holding on, you're clinging on to all these shares for dear life because you think it's going higher. Let me know in the comment section. I think that it's probably going to be pulling back. That's why I got rid of the rest, and I'm going to look to re-enter at a lower price. If it does come down, that's just a guess. But, man, when stocks go on these parabolic moves, you got to at least ring the register on some of it. But let's take a deeper look at today's price action in Torchlight. And actually, I was away last week, or I probably would have been really tempted to sell last week. I mean, we are in this huge blow-off move right now. When you get in these blow-off trends, usually the counter trends are between 1 to 5 days. And when you get in these fast moves, they can be usually only 1 or 2. And that's exactly what we got in the middle of last week. Had a little 1-day counter trend and then immediate reversal back to the upside, found support at that 8-period exponential moving average, and this thing has catapulted it to double digits today. Now let's go a little bit intraday and take a look at the price action. And actually, let me back this up a little bit and show you what I was talking about. I had an order, I think, right about here to get out at about $9.88, and we can see that on this candle, the high was $9.88, and the next candle, the high was actually $9.90, and so it went 2 cents past my order, and then came all the way back down here to about $9.50. So you know, I was a little bit annoyed, but then it immediately found support at the 8-period exponential moving average and blasted through my order and then some, and then has since been reversing. Let me go back to the current price action, but this thing is making a very nice rounded bottom on the minute chart. So if this thing ends over $10 a share, I mean, this move might not be over, because this big reversal that it had was bought up the entire rest of the day, or at least so far. We're still about an hour and a half or so left in the trading day. And, man, if this thing ends up over 10, this thing could end up blasting higher tomorrow, and I'll probably be sorry for getting rid of my shares, but I can't be too greedy. But let's go to the weekly chart and take a look at this trend, and you can just see how parabolic this move is going. And if you think the daily charts are making you want to sell, take a look at the longer time frames. And if these longer time frames look even that much more ridiculous, you're probably getting close to a top. And, you know, you probably should be at least ringing a little bit of the register on some of your position. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen with these stocks. I mean, the Reddit guys could have a hold of it. Who knows what could be happening. So if you think that type of move could be coming and it's not over yet, there is nothing wrong with holding on to part of your position. But more often than not, if you have a stock that's done something like this, if you check it again in another, a few days or a few weeks, it's almost always going to be lower. So don't try to get too greedy and call the top to the penny. Just be thankful for the gain you have. Ring the register on a little bit, and if it pulls back, if you still want to be in the company, you can, we can add at a little bit of a lower price, and then you could pocket that difference. And it's always nice to have that little bit of a gain sitting in your account when you're not so sure if the stock is going to keep going or not. But all of you guys that have been in Torchlight, congratulations. Let me know your thoughts on down there in the comment section, because this, I don't know. I think this thing could go either way. This thing could roll over. This thing could just keep going, because there are still tons of volume coming into this stock. But let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section. All right, everybody, let's get into some of the other stocks that we were talking about and trading in the Patreon group today. The first one I want to talk about is Gran Tierra Energy Corporation, ticker symbol GTE. This stock is in the oil and gas sector, and of course, that sector has been red hot. But this stock in particular has been pulling back since its huge move that it had in mid-February when it topped out right around $1.25 or so, and it pulled all the way back down to about 55 cents. So more than a 50% haircut on GTE, but it looks like it is starting to carve out a bottom and come out the right side of that rounded bottom formation. We zoom in a little bit, we can see it has been holding that 21-period exponential moving average perfectly and is starting to slingshot itself higher. And if we look at the current price action, it's printing a beautiful green candle, which is, of course, is what I love to see, because when you get one of those coming off those moving averages, it means it has an even higher probability of continuing higher for the next couple of days or couple of weeks. So hopefully it can hold these levels. I'm in this stock at about 76 cents, and man, just a beautiful looking pattern right now. So definitely expect some good things on GTE. And the other one we were looking at today was FUV Archimoto. And this one was actually brought to my attention by one of the Patreons. And this thing has been on huge moves. This thing topped out at right around $37 a share in early February and pulled all the way back to $7.50 approximately. I mean, it's just a huge move. This thing has big swings. But one of the things that I like about this stock at the moment, number one, had a big up move and has been pulling back after this big move on big volume, is pulling back on lighter volume, found support at the 200-period simple moving average. This yellow line had a big green igniter candle and has been going sideways ever since. So this thing is just stuck in a consolidation at the higher level that it made just a few days ago. It's been holding that white line, that 8-period exponential moving average. So I am in today with some options. Hopefully it can print another green candle, and if it does that, it's going to be off to the races. But allegedly, this thing has a pretty big short position in it. There are a lot of shares that have been shorted in this company, so this thing could potentially have a short squeeze. So that's another reason why I figured I would take a shot on some options on this one. Now, this one is a lower probability, higher risk trade, so that's why I'm going to play it with options and limit my downside on this trade. But if we do get an explosion, those options should pay off quite nicely. So this is going to be a lower risk, higher reward type trade, but a lower probability type trade as well. So we'll have to see in the next few days if this one pans out or not. This one should be a fun one to watch. And last one I want to talk about was STCN. I actually talked about this one a couple of weeks ago. And, man, I was expecting this thing to have a breakout to the upside when it was putting pressure on this resistance area right around 220, but it failed it last week and pulled all the way back down to this lower trend line. So not all these type of breakouts end up working out, but it is still in this consolidation. So I'm going to continue to watch this one and look for a potential breakout, because I still love this pattern. Just because it failed last week doesn't mean it's not going to eventually break out. But, man, still a nice-looking pattern in this one, even though it didn't work out for me last week. But now let's get into a question. I had a question from DMD, and he or she was asking if they should be buying, I think, CLNE or plug, or if they should be... I think they were saying that they already have a position in CleanSpark. Should they buy either Clean Energy or Plug, or just add more to the clean spark position. If I got some of that wrong, I apologize, D. But let me just get into the charts right now. First one we're going to look at is CLNE. CLNE is one of the stock that the Reddit crew has gotten a hold of, and obviously there's a lot of volume coming in this one. Today it is pulling back. It's down about 6.5% at the moment, so not a great day for CLNE. But if we go to the 15-minute chart on this one, we can still see it's a definitely still a bullish-looking chart pattern. You know, it had a little bit of this huge move that needs to digest. You know, so as long as it continues to go sideways like this, I don't think there's anything wrong with this pattern. Now, if we get a breakdown below this trend line, which it is pretty close to right now, could be in distribution after that. I mean, you never know what's going to happen with these stocks that the Reddit crew gets a hold of, because they can turn these things around on a dime, and the chart patterns don't have as much bearing on these type of stocks, even though it's definitely showing that there's still accumulation going on in CLNE. I would probably wait to maybe get involved in this one until it broke through this upper trend line, and you know, it can break through that in a blink of an eye. So this is one you're going to have to keep your eye on, but definitely still in a very nice bullish formation. So I don't know about this one. I guess I would just kind of wait for that the trend line break on that upper trend line. Let's take a look at Plug next. We can see Plug was breaking out of that descending wedge that I drew on this chart several weeks ago. Now, I expected it to have a bigger up move than what it had, but it just kind of like melted up, and now it is below the 200-period simple moving average, but it's still above that 50-period simple moving average, and still kind of just moving sideways, but it can't seem to get above that 8-period exponential moving average these last couple of days. So, as far as Plug goes, I don't like the Plug chart nearly as much as I like the CLNE, so I guess I would be leaning closer towards CLNE. And let's go look at Clean Spark, and I actually do own Clean Spark, and I knew that this one wasn't going to be good because I already saw Clean Spark today, and man, if you'd asked me about Clean Spark last week, I would have said, yeah, it's definitely looking fantastic, but today this thing is just rolling over, and I'm assuming it's because all of the, a lot of the coins are starting to roll over. A lot of the cryptos are having a pretty nasty looking day on the charts. So, and a Clean Spark, of course, you know, has a lot of Bitcoin rigs where they mine Bitcoin, so that is affecting Clean Spark. I like Clean Spark long term, but man, this is an ugly looking chart. I am not happy with this chart at all. I mean, I'm actually considering getting out of Clean Spark and maybe buying back later at a lower price, because this chart definitely looks like it could be rolling over. Now, if the cryptos turn around and start heading higher, that's probably going to drag Clean Spark higher, hopefully. But man, the way Clean Spark's looking right now, I would probably wait before I bought any more Clean Spark or even started a position in Clean Spark, because man, this price action is ugly. Alright guys, well that's all I have for this video, so I'm going to end it right there. But if you have any questions about any of these stocks, or if you have any other stocks you want me to take a look at, please leave them down there in the comment section. I will get to them as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, guys, and until next time, take care.